Hi everyone, and welcome to the next video in a series of Assistive Technology chats with technology advocates at Barton Peveril College. So today I'm joined by Alex, who is a second year student studying 3 A-levels, doing economics, psychology and business studies, and will be going on to university to do business management. Thank you for joining me today, Alex.
Nice. Thank you for having me.
So what we're going to do, myself and Alex do one-to-ones for support, but through Google Meet. So what we're on at the moment. What we're going to do today is just show you how we can use that and how you can use it as well for teachers or support staff and with students. So I'm just going to go on to the document that we have. So what we do for our one-to-ones that are through Google Meet, we have a shared document just like this. So this is through Google Docs, but obviously you can use anything that you use within your setting. So what we have here is just a psychology question that me and Alex have gone through previously. And this example is a discuss question. So what we could do, for example, is first of all highlight some of the command words in there. So we've got discuss, and then we can use the highlighter tool. And then potentially, Alex, what else in this question do you think are some of the key elements that you'd want to highlight or talk about in your answer?
Sure, okay. So it's clearly talking about double bind theory, so that's what you want to be focusing on. So that will be the second thing you want to highlight in a different colour. And then again, that's psychological explanation, that's what it's under, that's the subtopic it's under, and schizophrenia is the main topic. Then those are the main things that you want to do. So you would want to probably from then onwards plan that. You can do that in various methods. You could do it by listing off points, or you could put it in table form. So for example, so for example, I could insert a table here. I could split it into 3 main areas.
Excellent.
I'll do that while you continue.
That's great. So yeah, this is something that we've used previously. So actually using a table can help with splitting up those main ideas for a particular topic or question. So you can see Alex has just created a table. And what we do during the one-to-ones is that Alex might dictate his ideas and I will type them up, or as you can see, Alex will type things in himself as well. So it's very much a collaboration and a bit of combination of using the technology. And also just sort of discussing ideas. And actually it's a really good method to use for revision, because talking it through and actually almost like relearning and sort of Alex is much more of an expert in psychology than me, so he can teach me things as well about the topic, and actually that also helps with his understanding. Alex, do you find that table method can be quite helpful in terms of what your teachers can see as well?
I think it's more clear than just bullet points, because those bullet points can sometimes become a bit messy, especially when there's a lot of information on them. With this, you can put into your headings of definition, main points, and evaluation points. You can put, what are the key things you need to put under those things, and that will help probably for many people understand, how to lay it out when they then move on to the question itself and write it out. So that's it. I enjoy this. I like this way of doing it, because it's a lot more of a clearer plan to me than other methods.
Yeah, absolutely. Particularly if essay structure and revision are areas that students want to improve on, this can be a good starting point, can't it, for that understanding?
Yes.
Excellent. That's great. So that's really just a brief overview of how you can use those shared documents, but this obviously would be over maybe a half an hour or 45-minute one-to-one, and a plan would be created. But this can be for any subjects. We've just chosen psychology as an example, but you have that shared doc, and then the Meet is constantly open, but you can jump back into that Google Meet at any time to then discuss things in more detail. So what I'm going to do is just come back to you, Alex, and make this full screen. So Alex, in terms of using this process, why does this process work well for you in particular?
So in terms of this, what we were just doing previously, I mean, I'm able to practice those questions, and as well as extract work. That's another example. While the teacher, in this case, Laura, can view my work in real time and then can edit and suggest from what I put forward. So it's a lot more of a clearer way for both parties involved when doing this sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it is that collaboration of ideas. It just makes that understanding clearer, doesn't it? Lovely. And why do you think sort of using Google Meet in particular can be beneficial as well for students?
Well, they allow for the teacher and the student to input simultaneously, and this can help explain ideas, lay out work, and also practice planning in a way which, physically wouldn't be so easy because you'll be all on top of each other, quite literally. So it's in that sense, it's very good to students can complete tasks in a more beneficial way, which allows this teacher input and critique. But for both sides, for both sides.
Yeah, absolutely. The teacher, as something like with me, you can see your progress. As you said, I like that idea of real time as well, that you're sort of doing it together rather than you doing all the planning and writing the answer and then me having a look at it at a completely different time as well. Actually, if you can go through it together, that process has got much more of a flow and a bit more collaboration. And also at the moment, as you said, quite handy in terms of these COVID times, actually, that you can still do all that one-to-one work without having to worry about wearing masks and how close you are and all those other elements as well, and actually being able to still do the same work but in an environment that maybe actually might make the student feel a bit more comfortable and the teacher as well. So I think I think it's shown to be sort of the weeks that we've been doing it, Alex, it seems to be worked well and being quite beneficial in terms of revision and those upcoming assessments that you've had as well. That's brilliant. Thank you so much for joining me today, Alex, and showing how that works. If you need any more advice, you can find me on Twitter at LSBP Support, and we've got the Learning Support YouTube channel. Do let us know if you've got any requests and we can create videos for you. Thanks so much. Bye.